if you are an engineer and if you want to work at Tesla, believing in the mission is very important, is probably one of the most important things I would say.
What do you think is the biggest lesson for engineers who wish to carve a successful career in engineering field? हेलो इंजीनियर्स, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? टेस्ला का नाम तो आप सबने सुना ही होगा। वर्ल्ड के सबसे अमीर इंसान को भी आप जानते ही हैं। रिसेंट इयर्स में टेस्ला काफी न्यूज में रहा है। इनकी ग्राउंड ब्रेकिंग टेक्नोलॉजी और प्रोडक्ट्स कस्टमर्स को लग्जरी और यूटिलिटी प्रोवाइड करने के साथ साथ एनवायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन और सस्टेनेबिलिटी को भी ध्यान में रखते हैं। आज हमारे साथ टेस्ला के सीनियर प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर हैं जो वॉल्ट डिज्नी और मैकेंजी जैसी टॉप कंपनीज में भी काम कर चुके हैं। तो इनसे बेहतर आपको कौन ही बता सकता है अबाउट हाउ लाइफ इज एट टेस्ला एंड व्हाट स्किल्स एम्प्लॉयज एट कंपनीज लाइक टेस्ला possesses. So let's welcome our guest, Mr. Parth Choksi. Hi Parth, how are you?
I know I'm good. Excited to be a part of the show.
Okay, thank you so much, Parth, for taking out time. So let's start with the questions then. So from an Indian engineering college to Tesla, how would you describe your journey? Is there anything that you did differently?
I think I did a lot of things after I graduated from my engineering college. My first job was at ITC, where I worked on a lot of renewable energy technologies like solar, wind, and hydro. After that, I started my own company in the virtual reality space. And then I moved to the US, where I worked with McKinsey for some time, and then I joined Tesla. I think overall, I believe that my experience in trying different things helped me understand what I like to do, and over time I figured out that I wanted to get into product management, and obviously I've had experience in renewable energy with my time at ITC. That was one of the key drivers where I felt that I would be a very good fit for this role at Tesla.
Okay, so Parth, can you tell me about, can you briefly explain to our audience what basically is your work at Tesla? आप करते क्या हैं Tesla में exactly?
Tesla, जैसे आप जानते होंगे, गाड़ियाँ बेचते हैं. We have electric cars, and we also sell a lot of renewable energy products, जैसे कि solar panels हो गया, हमारा proprietary solar roof हो गया. We also have a inverter equivalent product called Powerwall, which is a battery where your home can store energy in the battery, and we have car chargers, which is called the wall connector, which help you charge your cars at home. मेरा काम है to build an owner side of experience for the owners who have purchased the energy products from us. So I am a part of the residential energy team, and I manage parts of the Tesla app and also the parts of Tesla account on the website, along with some service and support experience that the customers go through if they need anything from Tesla.
So basically it's for the customers, right? कि उनके end से what are the requirements and accordingly you build a product.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Got it. So how would you describe your typical day as a Tesla employee?
Sure. So my job is to basically solve customers' problems and work with the stakeholders in the company who help the customers solve their problems. So most of the time, my day starts with looking at data of all the features that we've launched in the past. A lot of times, whenever we've launched a new feature, I look at how the adoption is and how it is impacting the overall output metrics that I want it to impact. Uske baad, I have regular stand-ups with my engineering, design, and data team to basically go through the plan of what we are planning to do next and how the progress is. And then later in the day, primarily in the second half of the day, I have scheduled meetings with all the stakeholders whom I'm working with to build the next set of features. The meetings are primarily conversations with the engineering, design, data team, and then as a product manager, it's very important to schedule some time for deep work as well, basically to absorb all the information and knowledge that I get from everyone I'm meeting, and then making sure that I have included those learnings as a part of the next set of features that I'm building.
Okay, so it's very important to come on the like understand what exactly your what should I say, customers are requiring for the upcoming products and what you can build in that. Okay, so आप एक senior product manager हैं, right? So are you involved in the design process as well? Can you guide our learners about the importance of design softwares आपके पूरे journey में, starting from your first job and then this Tesla one?
Yeah, sure. I think whenever you're working in software, design is a key component because whatever you are doing is visual, especially if you are in a customer facing side of things. So right from the beginning, like when I was with ITC, I was involved in design and commissioning of solar panels for our factory. And then at Tesla, the work that I have been involved, or especially where design gets involved, is the UI UX design of the mobile app that I'm working on. So design has been an integral factor, whether it was in the form of engineering design or mobile app or software design. Also, understanding a little bit about customer psychology is helpful. Human psychology, that is, because basically you want to understand what your customers are thinking, how they are thinking, and how you should build your product so that they use it the way you want to. And that's why customer interviews and overall feedback and data is important, because a lot of times you build something intending it to be used in a certain way, but data tells you otherwise. So that's why I believe like understanding the users, talking to the users, talking to your customers, and then incorporating that learning into the design is important. At Tesla, we use like a bunch of softwares like Sketch, Figma to help us build those screens or build the user experience. And that is then translated into software and then taken into the app.
So which means that design softwares plays an important role in all this products side of a thing, right? Okay, so as for you, this design is something that's growing. The design sector is growing in, if we talk about engineering companies or industry like Tesla, if this design thing is growing, and is there aspects for our engineers to learn this and then get a job?
If you are primarily interested in coding, it is good to have knowledge about customers. I always take inputs from my engineers whenever we are building a product, and most of the time they give very good insights, very good points, and I incorporate those. But again, that's engineers are not like actively, software engineers especially are not actively involved in like designing or learning the software.
So Parth, आपने इंडिया और यूएस दोनों देशों में, दोनों कंट्रीज में काम किया हुआ है, राइट? हाउ इज द वर्क कल्चर डिफरेंट इन बोथ द कंट्रीज? एज पर यू, व्हिच वन इज द बेटर?
I think both of them have pros and cons. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. So when I was at ITC, it's a traditional 100-year-old company, and there are like a lot of processes set up. Essentially, whenever you are doing something, you need to make sure that you're following those processes and you are getting the right set of approvals before even you can place an order or make any transaction or do anything. Tesla is very fast moving. There are processes, but there is not like a lot of high amounts of approval required if you want to build or ship something. And especially it's software. So we work on weekly sprints. The turnaround times are very quick. If I believe today that, okay, I want to build this or I want to ship this in my app, or if I want to ship this in any of my products, I can do it next week. Like depending on obviously the size of change. If it's like people are very accessible, the leaders in the company are very accessible, and it's if you are building the right thing, if you're solving the right problem, you can very quickly ship those changes.
Got it. Okay. So Parth, हमारे देश में, like in our country, India, right, there are मेन इंजीनियर्स जिनका जो ड्रीम करते हैं टेस्ला जैसी कंपनी में काम करने का, लाइक बहुत सारे इंजीनियर्स जो भी देख रहे हैं चाहते हैं दैट दे कैन वर्क इन टेस्ला समडे, आपकी क्या एडवाइस रहेगी ऐसे एस्पायरिंग इंजीनियर्स के लिए?
Tesla is a mission-driven company. Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. I think if you are an engineer and if you want to work at Tesla, believing in the mission is very important, is probably one of the most important things I would say. But you should also be very good at your job. Like Tesla, from what I've seen, does not hire as many people as the other tech companies. And there are obviously different types of roles. There is software engineering, there is hardware engineering. You need to be very good at what your job is, and obviously believing in the company's mission is very important. I mean, at Tesla, you are expected to work hard. It's not going to be like, once you get in, it's not going to be like a cakewalk. Everyone in the company works hard. And you should be ready for that. Like, you should be mentally prepared for that. And that's why at times you believing in the company's mission becomes very important.
So the important point here is कि आपको कंपनी के मिशन में बिलीव करना बहुत जरूरी है, that what company is working on. And अगर आप मिशन में बिलीव करते हैं then आपकी ड्रीम कंपनी दूर नहीं है. So Parth, one more question that I want to ask. What are the questions typically asked during Tesla का interview? So what were the questions जो आपसे शायद पूछे गए होंगे या फिर अभी पूछे जाते हैं at the time of interviews?
Again, it's very role dependent. If you are applying for a software engineer role or a hardware engineer role, you will definitely be asked a lot of technical questions. For me, I was applying for a product manager role, so they checked my product sense, like how good my product sense is. And then also leadership, strategy, communication, cross-functional team collaboration. So there were like multiple rounds of interviews. Okay. And every interview was focused on a specific feature set. In general, like, I think one is the technical set of skills. For me, it was like my product sense. And the other important thing is the fit. Whether you as a person would be a right fit for the team or for the organization as a whole. These are like some of the things that they look out for. In terms of specific questions, every team or every organization within or every business within the company has different hiring processes. So depends on which team you are applying to or what role you are applying for. You may be asked different set of questions.
Got it. So the important thing is here that technical skills or should be up to the mark, right? If you're applying for these kind of companies like Tesla.
Correct. Technical skills as well as a cultural fit. Both of them are, I would say, equally important.
Okay, so technical and cultural, both are the important aspects here. Got it. So my last question for you is, अगर हम Tesla को side में रखें, right? In general बात करें तो what do you think is the biggest lesson for engineers who wish to carve a successful career in engineering field?
In general, for any role, you should both have the right technical knowledge as well as the right attitude to succeed. Yeah. Sirf technical knowledge in industry does not work. आपका attitude correct होना चाहिए. You should be kind of willing to solve problems. You should be willing to sort of you should be willing to go out of your way or work towards solving those problems. And then you should also be believing in the work that you are doing. Like अगर आपको मतलब किसी भी चीज में successful होना है, you should be believing in what you are doing. If you don't have the right attitude, or if you don't have the right, even if you don't have the right technical skills and you have the right attitude, technical skills is something that can be learned.
So these three things जो भी Parth ने बताई, that's a very important अगर आप एक successful career चाहते हैं तो. So guys, with this we come to an end of this conversation. It was a great pleasure talking to you, Parth. I hope, rather believe, that our viewers would have learned a lot from you and this conversation. Again, Parth, thank you so much for taking out your time. Thank you.